or 876-317-1991. Don't be left out. Promote your business. Ball out.
Come one, come all to the second Doing Vale Health and Wellness Fun Day, Thursday, August 8, 2024, Doing Vale Primary School from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come on out and get free health screenings and cervical cancer screening, BMI testing, HIV testing and counseling, health education, fire safety and prevention, and much, much more. Goodie bags and surprises. Fun activity for the children, merry-go-round, sack and egg races, bounce houses, clowns, face painting, and much, much more. This prestigious event is hosted by the Hyatt family, brought to you by our partners, Trelawney Health Services, National Health Fund, Trelawney Fire Department, Registrar's General Department, Western.
The Apostolic Now Made Whole Healing and Deliverance Conference on Saturday, August 24, 2024 at the Falmouth Parish Church Hall, Duke Street, Falmouth, Trelawney. Host Pastor Prophetess Jodian Barnett. Dynamic preaching by Prophet Daniel Taylor and Pastor Keem Wellington, Minister Siobhan Reed, and many more. Hosted by Pastor A. Shirley. Tickets $4. Food and refreshments on sale. Come with your cups turned up for the undiluted word.
Jamaica, this are them the fight stop mosquito from bite you. That mean we are go clean up school, workplace, home and community too. We have a task at plan, every crevice and corner for clean up the plan. Make we get rid of dengue across the island. Let's put it on the Facebook and Instagram. Tell the whole nation say this are the national dengue free crew. Come join the fight stop mosquito from bite you.
Mosquitoes wanted dead, not alive. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
This is Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. The time courtesy of Trelawney's Radio is 3 p.m.
96.7 Revolutionary. You're host on the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. This and every Monday at 3 p.m. From the home to the community to the wider world. Let us be the change we want to see. Join me this and every Monday at 3 p.m. on the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Road with a heavy load, still we never get into the community. The musical revolutionary.
Struggle goes on.
We are the builders of the pyramids. We are the builders of the stone cities of Zimbabwe. We build them White House, factories, with blood, with sweat, with tears, with flesh, with bones. Them use build them economy. Now them want come science and them technology. We make them take with knowledge. Now them are deafly. Them are we are walk, we are ride, we are drive, we are fly. Nah, look, nah, see. Eyes focus on this tablet, BlackBerry. We go, look. Uno no sister them a bury with. The rich take them session, call it recession, left the world in depression. Rise, Nice now become ours. We are buy them lies and sell with lies. Prostituting our sons, doctors and wives. Marcus did rise. Sam Sharp did rise. Bogle did rise. Taki did rise. Queen and Zinga did rise. Harriet Tubman rise. Rosa Parks rise. Malcolm X rise. Frederick Douglass rise. Ancestors rise. Eileen Thomas said, Aymara rise.
Love and light, yes. This is the Community Buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. Evolutionary, your host for the Community Buzz here on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. Yes, why the strong that gone was as strong in one of the way you have to just look at it. So many things. I am seeing some things, emancipation, I went to the Emancipation Village, vigil, right? That was when Tuesday. Yeah, the one out by Civil, the first time I've ever been there. And I'm telling you.
So you received your apology, boss. If you see a apology.
That is something that is something that we need to talk about. Because you can't apologize to a people while the system that you put in place are still oppressive to the people. And you can't apologize to some of the people and not all the people. If you are going to apologize, your people who are still in the Congo, murdering and exploiting and enslaving people, must stop. You can't apologize while your bloodline are still carrying out serious atrocities against people. We're not going to take that kind of apology while Jamaica is still indebted to the IMF. Are controlled by your bloodline, the same people who made millions off of free slave, or free labor. Make we use that, right? So, you apologize, and they're still there. They want to change the term, and slavery now is just a new definition, because capitalism is slavery. It's just that it is wage laborers, or wage laborer getting pay for what they are doing. But if we are, as they say, unto mouth can't work, Ziggy Marley says, seeing? So these are things that we have to look into when these people come around and trying to insult our intelligence, and by saying that they are apologizing. You can't apologize while you are continuing the same thing that you just modify it. That's what you have done. You just modify it and let the people feel like they are good and they are comfortable, while you're still exploiting and digging out our resources, and you have your proxy government and your agents here oppressing free and liberated people, wanting to take away the lands that they, fought for. Their ancestors fought, with their blood, their sweat, their tears, and their bones. And you are here now telling us that you apologize. No, apologize is not just lip service, action. You know what I mean? And we yet to see the kind of action that we want to see. When you look what right now, riot is taking place in Bristol. You know what I mean? And thugs are burned down place. This new group of people, just like what did I go on under Trump. The British white patriots, sort of the extreme, that them a practice. And it is nothing more than distraction. They are there to distract the people. You know what I mean? Both white and black people and Indian people and Muslim. That is the game that the elites played on the minds of the people. Well, division among people to make people believe, say, yeah, you're black, I'm a white, and you're superior, I'm inferior. You know, that is just what you call a cloud over the eyes of the people, and we attack every people. You know, classism is worse than racism because that is a kind of a classism. What is really classism? You know what I mean? Where some people, you know, put themselves at a certain position, and their position is to exploit the weak people who they claim weak. And the weakness come from the people not taking responsibility for themselves. And that is what is happening. There's so much of us just lay down and make people just walk all over us. You know what I mean? Rather than if you straighten up your back, you straighten up your back and walk upright. Nobody can trample you. Nobody can ride you. You know what I mean? Straighten up your back and puff up your chest and step. You know what I mean? That in the things, as I was talking about civil, you know, it was a good thing. And it was a chocolate tea. Yeah, that's all me kind of did full joy of a civil, you know, but me not see nothing new. There wasn't anything there, you know, to really inspire me. Something that, you know, we should really celebrate. It's just the same set of people making millions of the struggle of the people. You know what I mean? Because who really control civil? Yeah? Who control the National Heritage Trust? Yeah? Who are the chair people and who control these organizations? We must check them out and dig deep into these things and understand what is happening to our people. You know what I mean? Because one of the things that we must do, you know, in order for us to move forward, we must unlearn and relearn. Seeing? Because there are some things that we have learned over the years, and these things are a part of our consciousness, and then we pass it on, you know, generational, you know, deceptions, you know, is there. And how we are going to break free from all of these things, we have to get up. We have to rise up and shake up ourselves out of our slumber and our sleepiness and realize that the people are playing us. And if you allow them to continue to play you, then what will happen to you? Pitney them. You know what I mean? So the next 4 or 5 generations are going to find themselves in the same condition like we are in now. That is what is happening. No matter how you might look at it, because there's a structure, there's an order, and how the order function, right, is one set of personal resources to how they are operating. And until the people realize that we need to be the masters of ourselves and all that we have, then we are going to continue to struggle and to fight and to cry and the order set up. Everybody is at the market and you see the same thing. You know, one time gone when we are youth, I grew up, you know, and we go to the farm, right, to reap any kind of produce to send to the market. We would make sure, say, whatever we are going to send to the market in the best of condition. You know, that is something what we used to do. So if we dig a piece of yam and the machine touch it, you know, say, that can't go market. Yeah, that's so we used to operate. We put that and we say, we are going to eat that. We don't sell damaged goods to people. Now, this is something me I notice are going on the market. Sometimes you go to market and when you look on some people style, you see literally rotten on your style if you don't have an intention to sell it to people. You understand me I say? Unless you have plans, say some people are come buy it to go sell, or if you go say give them foul or they give them hog or something. But I couldn't. Human, you want to consume something where you see really at the you know? So sometimes you go and you look for something to buy. You have to search for yourself and pick out what you want, you know, where you know say it is not good for human consumption. You want to eat it, but you have it by your style, you know. So these things I am looking at, I'm want the people them if you just look upon themselves and know say, you know, that, you know what I mean? It now go profit you, you know. It don't really go profit you. You might believe you make a money, but in the long run help, you know. You must make people feel good. Whatever you share with people, man, you must share that the people that you know feel good about it, that you share. Exploit people. You don't share things with people and make people feel sad and distressful about it. You don't sell people things and when they go, you know, it I'm not used to them. Oh, that makes sense. You peel and peel and you realize, say, wait, but this no good. You know what I mean? And you maybe know, say it no good, but all you think about is to make a money. It's a sad thing, you know what I mean? And it's not just the market people, you know, people have to observe, especially when you're going to these supermarkets, because what they're also doing is switching the date of expiry date. So you might buy something where you say, boy, expire the 28th of August, right? But it's a new date that them put it expired long time. And just find for stamp another date on it. And by the time you buy that, and when you go home and you say, but this not taste good, it not look good. You understand? We to ourselves, you know, so many things happen. We were at the Artisan Village Friday, and it was a beautiful vibes. Seeing we see so many people, you see so many other people who, you know, creating is the market, you know what I mean, for them to really make a good living, you know, because where people don't lack innovations and creativity, we are not lacking in that. We have more than we can, you know, we are leaders in the world when it comes to these things. We are very versatile. We are leaders in the world when it comes to these things. But somehow, you know, it is like, you know, the people always find themselves up with them back against the wall. And this is how we have to start to observe economy. Economy is a thing. If some people, if the people who are supposed to support you can't find the means to even eat food, then all them are go buy your stuff. See? So it is great that all of us, this is what we must strive for, that everybody is prospering. Because when more people are prosper and things are all right, when you create something, it's easy to sell. You understand? But when you have just a few, and just the few not even interested in the creativity of the ordinary man. You know what I mean? Because they are foreign-minded. See? And if them we want to purchase what the individual have, them don't even want to give you or pay you for what it worth. So we have to look upon ourselves deeper, you know, to understand and see the worth in whatever people are creating or the things that people are doing. It's the same thing in the art world, you know. I'm gonna prepare everything in pay for the most expensive sound, you know, in pay for, and when him call the artist, he might tell the artist, say, we just want you to just give a little entertainment. And him no want to pay the artist, but him pay for sound, him pay for everything else and all of these things. But the person now who, you have some people who are so disrespectful that when they want to do it, tell us they can feed you. Like, you're dead for younger. You know, so these kind of, what Granny would have said, this kind of liberty when them try to take with people, you know, and we see it happening on different levels and spheres in Jamaica, which are the bedrock, who are the foundation, you know, of this country. You know what I mean? So one of the bigger people in the artisan village, you know, don't really give up hope, you know, just hold on to faith, you know what I mean, and continue. You know, what I believe we need to do is to come together, you know, and form a movement, seeing, because as we observe that there are diverse art forms and things that are happening there. You have cook, and people cook different things, and people have the people into for body, you know, right? Fruit blossom with our, you know, unique way of, you know, using local products to, you know, popsicles, you know what I mean, and ackee, yam, you know, or titi apple, or titi, Tahiti apple, you know, so all of these things, you know, ackee, so many things, you know what I mean, that people use to create, as we say, take them on, turn you on and make fashion, you know. So there are so many great things, you know what I mean. And today, tomorrow, then say what is what? Independent 62, yeah. And as we say, emancipation happened. And guess who emancipated? So the world boss. Yeah. These are things that you have to look into, you know, and a day before emancipation, you know, about a $2 million independent cake. I don't understand how it will work. How much people are going to eat that cake? You understand? We are going to talk these things in a time like this, when Jamaica is under so much pressure, or you waste so much resources to make a cake like that. See? But until the people open up them eyes and rise up and see what is happening, then we are going to continue in the kind of condition that we are in. Saturday, up to Saturday night was a beautiful vibes. Live good. Yeah. Hamilton. Yeah. The MP for Northern Trelawny. Bless up yourself to over Hamilton. Right? You come out with your people and all, so much people come support, you know. We say the MP from what? Northern Manchester. What's your name again? Miss oh me, I miss her name now. Anyway, yes.
Okay, Ms. Crawford and the Minister
Yes.
of National Security was there too.
Ah, okay, right.
Yes.
Is Crawford your name? Anyway, see, actually, honey, Rona your name.
Yes.
Rona.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Aye. See. So it was a beautiful vibe Saturday night. You know, to see the young people them come out, you know, and the sound was nice, you know. Bless up yourself, Lamy, seeing, and the whole running order was beautifully, you know, we're there making sure that everything, body and, you know what I mean? Leave the heritage, came and puff, opened me to the gospel, yeah, so that was a beautiful, you know, thing, you know what I mean? So we're full joy ourselves, we're full receptive to, I mean, and support them artists. Big up yourself, Jerry D, you know, as a MC, you do a good job. I mean, see, but it is what it is. It was a beautiful evening, and yes, live go see it as more than an event, you know. We see where it can become, you know, a kind of an institution, move it, you know, but highlighting culture, you know, for the things that took place leading up to Saturday night was a beautiful vibe and things like that. So you sensitize and educate the artists, you know, in so many ways, you know what I mean? You present yourself on stage, you know, mic technique and all of these things, you know. So it was a good vibe. And we give thanks for that kind of, you know, and preparation for a generation that need to take the torch and lead it, the people them to another level. But them have to prepare. We can't reverse now, you know. Now is not time to reverse, you know. You have to start to ease off of your phone and stop, you know what I mean? You have to start going to yourself and know other young people across the globe are waking up to the reality, continue to dictate, you know, what happened in our country. I'm saying, Jamaica, when we are going to reach a stage, you know what I mean, to take control of ourselves and start to determine what is it that we want, you know, for ourselves and not what somebody else think that they can give to us. You know what I mean? So we have to observe these things. I could bring some music, I don't know. Yeah, we have Iman Black PhD scene coming on at 3:30. Scene. So we look forward to an in-depth reasoning, you know what I mean? Because when we talk to a man like Iman Black, it is not anything ordinary. We are going to really dissect independence and we are going to dissect emancipation, what it is about, you know what I mean? So we are look forward to that about 3:30, you know? So I could say if we can find something to sweet up the ears of the people.
Express yourself. Everyone should be able to express themselves freely. Free the dog. Freedom. Free the dog so that they can speak. Nature Elisa said, free the dog. Freedom. Free the dog. You should be free to speak. Yeah. We need free speech so that the messenger can teach. So the people realize their crooked lives. Free up your messenger so Jaja works can reach ya. Free up your messenger, messenger of truth and rights, yeah. Free the dog, freedom. Free the dumb so that they can speak, yeah. Free the dumb, freedom. Free the dumb, you should be free to speak, yeah. Free like a Marcos speech, like the whalers lyrics. Free like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King speech. So many lose their lives because they speak the truth. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King got executed, but still we have to free the dumb. Freedom, freedom, so they can speak. Free the dumb. Freedom.
Yes, that is Nature Ellis saying for free the dumb, free the dumb. And, we want to make sure so the people can speak their mind, and truly express themselves, what I mean? And tomorrow, as them say, is Independent Day, and we'll look on that. And emancipation gone when August, we must look what that really means. And analyze it, and there's something where everybody does say, without knowing and to really understand, what independence is to we, as a people, and how you really become an independent nation. So these are some of the things that we have to talk about, and I believe we have a guest online. Iman Black. Blessed love, Iman Black. How are you doing, King?
Peace and power to the eye and the listeners of the FM.
Love and light. The eye come through bright and clean. So we hope we can maintain this right through, the next hour and a half. What are the Jamaica? All right, give thanks. Yes. Well, some people that say we're not have no one in Jamaica. We are watch a virgin one year was and we need to find, what this place really is, or whatever, So because of language or such like, But everybody feel happy to, associate themselves with this little island that we live on now with the Olympics and thing there. But there are so many things that are beautiful about the island, and there are so many that the people who are here, especially the 90% Africans who are here, as Dr. Van Sertima said, we were here before Columbus came. So we need to look
thousands of years.
This all. Because we are looking at emancipation. Iman Black. And when we're looking at the Black Law Dictionary, it all depends on what.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, we hear some sound there. Them say,
some big truck party.
Okay, them say the act of which one who was under another power and control is freed. A surrender and renunciation of the correlative rights and duties concerning the care, custody, and earnings of a child, the act by which a parent, historically a father, frees a child and gives the child the right to his or own hearing. The last part here is something when we look on, because who is our Father? You know, we are whose children? You know what I mean?
Children,
yeah. You know, so when we talk about heading to our system, 1838, right? From 1834 to 1838, when them claim say, you know, it started, and by 1838, 1st of August, when them say we get full freedom, I'm on Black.
I'm a brethren. I give thanks first and foremost for the platform, you know, for exchange of ideas. I'm looking at the word emancipation, and I read a couple definitions. I think there's so many things, but it's maybe better to look at what was going on before the Emancipation Proclamation. What led to that?
Yes.
What forced the British to declare emancipation? And you know, our historians and the great lecturers at the university, they don't really go before emancipation to delve into the hows and the whys, because we have been really listening to British narrative of the experience of African and history. We have heard of Sam Sharp.
Yeah.
And we know that Sam Sharp instituted a revolution or a rebellion against the British.
1831.
Okay. Now, even before Sam Sharp, there were Maroon Wars against the British.
Exactly.
So we have been in a state of war with the British from the time they bring us here. The Moors, Nanny of the Moors, was a prime leader of the resistance to the abominable treatment of African people. No, it's an economic thing.
Yes.
Because the plantation society was strictly organized to take out our resources. And that was going on. It was becoming unprofitable for the British. In other words, plantations were being burned down. They couldn't get the consistent work out of us. So something had to change. Now, what really changed? It wasn't really the relationship between the enslaved people and the slave owners. That relationship has not changed. So what really changed then was a sort of wearing who is under 18. And after emancipation, your parents don't have any care for you or any responsibility for your needs. And so the enslavement and the destruction of the economy forced white men to approach project from a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? You relinquish ownership of the slave population. You think that they are now free. So everybody celebrates getting off the plantation.
Yeah.
And the celebration goes on for weeks until the reality of economics hits us, that we don't have any money, we don't have any land, we don't have any resources. So you see a set of people now who have been taken off the plantation, put out in what you call free space, but lack power. So we have to return to the plantation now to get what is called money. And that same money now will be given to the slave owners for us to get food and shelter. So I am saying no, the emancipation was a political deception. It happened in America as well, where the black man in America was also emancipated and promised resources that he never got. So if we query now, what is it we are really celebrating? Because emancipation does not mean free, does not mean liberated. And the liberation is what enslaved people should be striving for, not emancipation. So technically speaking, we are still slaves. We are still enslaved to an economic system.
Yeah.
Where we have no control over the resources, where we begin to ask now for an apology, which is asking the owner to tell us that they are sorry. The Germans, I'm going to jump across the world now. The Jews that we are so stressed, when they came to be freed, they were not emancipated.
So,
which puts them in a position, to demand reparations. They are not begging for an apology from the Germans. But the African people, linguistics, not knowing the meaning of words, have been given the impression that we are liberated people, and now we want reparations. But how can you provide reparations for people who are not liberated?
You touch the whole thing of relinquish ownership, right? And so we don't own the slaves no more. Before that, before their so-called emancipation, the enslaved was also their property, right?
Chattel.
Yeah.
Like the pig and the cow.
Like the pig and the cow. See? So,
yes.
And the island, Jamaica, I am going to deliberately use this word, is still owned. That time them own it, now them still own it. But you say you free the people, you say you emancipate the people, but the people don't own none of the land because it's still crown land.
And church land.
And church land. How we are going to move beyond the whole of all of right there, so because this is something that is happening as we speak, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I went up a civil for the first time, you know, since them having this emancipation vigil there. And I am hearing the same lies coming from people who are professing to be our leaders. Because if the people who see themselves as our leaders still holding on and continue to say, seriously wrong this, or I'm on black.
My virgin, what is fundamentally wrong is that we are psychologically entrapped. British way of thinking, and it is reinforced by the church. In that, we, the African people, who were reduced to chattel, have not recovered. We don't have an identity that is grounded in our historical self, which is Africa. Our identity is in this region, we call it Caribbean Indies, which are just misnomers. There is no West Indies. There is no Caribbean. So our identity is a serious problem in our own center. The University of the West Indies is Her Majesty's University about Africa. The outcome of a university force feeding. We were forced to believe that Columbus discovered this place. Van Sertima could correct that and let us know that we were here for 10,000 years before Columbus came out of Europe. History in our university. So part of our, I think, the greatest problem is what's going on at the Mona plantation. And the Mona plantation is an institution that maintains the deception and keeps, well, imagine a young youth coming from high school, goes to the university in Jamaica, and he's given a curriculum that has nothing to do with ancient Egypt from our true identities. And so what is really probably required now is a relearning of our true self, but it has to be directed at our youths and our women.
I just
so the leadership will never solve the problem that we speak about. No, they are simply in place to maintain it.
Yeah. Yes, they relearn. But one of the things where we service anything, whether your body or your car, you have to do a flush out first. Not true?
I agree.
You know, memory is such a serious thing. You're much inside, you know, within our memory. Seeing? And it is one of the things that maybe going to generation after generation that you have to remind yourself. You know, the psychology of even Jesus, that something terrible start to happen to you. If you're not firm in yourself, you start finding yourself, I say the same thing, where you come to the clarity, you know, and realize it. This is an illusion that was sold to us and continue to be hold it into a consciousness. You understand? And
yes.
And even certain expression, massa, bars, you know what I mean? All of these inside of you. And no matter how, so it is like an internal battle that you have a fight day in, day out. Oh, me, I go free myself. Am I blaspheming? I hope me not do the right thing, you know, because it is difficult to move to a new phase. You have to really be somebody with deep into yourself to come to that and realize, as you talk about the plantation of Mona, saying people will realize that that plantation was established 4 years after the universal adult suffrage. So then decide all of these things orchestrated, you know, I'm on black. And
yes.
something just happens, you know, then plan say,
this strategic, very strategic.
Strategic. These are the system that we need to put in place to maintain the structure that we have. So
I'm interested to know. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I am saying, you know, when we look upon the thing that we are there, how we really, as you say, relearn. What is it we have to do first? What happen?
All right. We have to unlearn what the British, that is true. The British put forth a narrative, and we have to have a context of our experiences before we were brought into this. A lot of the land that we get classifies us as slaves. But the real story will reveal that we were never slaves brought here. We were brought here as prisoners of war. A war was waged against Africa. The whole continent was under war from Europe and the Arab nations. And the bringing of African people into the West, we were brought here as prisoners of war. Identities that we were never slaves, but we are now captured as prisoners that we begin to look from. How did the capture take place? And rather than go through all of that, we look at the plantation life and we realize that there were one main institution set up on the plantation to control our brains. That was the church.
Yeah.
And in the church came the teachings about supreme being. And when you begin to think about what the supreme beings represents, ancient African people always had a cosmology of divinities. So the term of the word God never surprises us. But what was disturbing is when the European created a son of God and transformed that son of God into a white, blue-eyed, pale-skinned character. That character has been implanted in our memory, and we have been seeing ourselves as our own redeemers. We're looking at the thing called Christ as a redeemer. So we have to abolish and abandon those type of thinkings before we can begin to come to see who we really are. People, a lot of our African people have the concept of Jesus, the Christ, as the supreme. And in that supremacy, we abandon our African retentions. We no longer speak of the mother and the father as the unity. We no longer have the male as the head of the family. It's all been substituted by a character called Jesus. Until we begin to abolish that feeling that we need to find what our soul is, because nobody can really tell me that my soul can be saved or it can be sinned, because my soul is my skin. We have to redefine ourselves as people. Sigmund Freud, the European psychologist from the 1600s, we have been living on their type of thinking. And we have to revert to Dr. Brin, we have to call upon Dr. Ben, Cheek Anta Diop. We have to put on Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John and call upon our black scholars. So it's a revolution that is ancient and we must reclaim. So the unlearning is very strongly recommended. And as I'm about to say, two institutions were created to control the people. Where on the plantation, the pastor was given a great amount of adulation, and the preacher and the politician was given power back. It's two sets of ministers, ministers of government and ministers of the church. But they are not administrating for the welfare of the great majority of black people who were once enslaved. They live on their own. So we have to really develop our own consciousness up to the outsider who was infiltrated and left his mark.
Yes.
And then tell us, we have to take that. And you see, that is what they have driven into us, that fear.
True.
And they have told us that
we start the program, because of the flow that we're going, But somebody just takes in and I say, they would like to know who is Iman Black, this brethren that is talking. So, just reintroduce yourself to the people. This is something that we should have done before we even reach us. But you see, people are listening, and we never listen. They want.
That is not the name that the Roman society society or my parents gave I. Because it took I own exploration
Yeah.
to realize the power of what your name is.
Yes.
And that your name is actually an essential part of your identity, along with your sexual identity and your racial identity. Your name is essential.
Yeah.
Your name ties you now into a cultural history.
Yeah.
So, being a psychologist as a student and as a professional, I had to get rid of what was given to me by my beloved mother, who did her best. And I recognize that the most important element in our being is the I. Not the me, not the self, but the I. So I claim I. Man comes out of my exploration in the book of Genesis. That says the creator in the God concept said, let us make man.
Yeah.
Males and females. So that is I, because there's no lack in black. So this, yes, because there's no lack in I black.
Yeah. It's just black. B-L-A-K.
Just black.
Yeah.
So when I man check into the depths of black, black is not a color. Technically, black is not a color. We are not colored people. Black doesn't exist on the color spectrum. You don't see black in the rainbow. Same identities that we have naturally. That black is the pigmentation in our skin that holds energy. So people are afraid to be black because the Europeans have transformed black into evil and negative. It's now an adjective that describes a condition. So I have been able to liberate myself from the English definitions of black, and I have claimed it, and I have rejected Sigmund Freud's theory of ego, and I have claimed I. And it is a Rasta man. It is a Rasta man who originally began to talk about I and I. So, in my definition of I name, I man black.
Is exactly. So I want to get that, my people.
Yes, in terms of academics, research and study, the same one plantation.
Yeah.
So I had to try through those walls of first study. Saying that's the point. I mean, each should be doing each to our own psychologists.
Sure.
That we can look into our own emotional self, look into our intellectual self.
Yes.
And find ways to upgrade our own being. Okay. And philosophy, to me, is the most important tool, because philosophy allows you to question the logic behind religion. And you're going to find that you're in a position where you can actually abandon religion
Yeah. Yeah.
And the sad thing about it, from my point of view, is that our young children, right across Jamaica, we are under the impression that the university is the place to send your child.
Yes. Yes.
Not knowing that you're sending your child into the belly of the beast.
Oh.
You know, when you land at university, you know, one of the first things that happens to the first year students who live on campus, they go through a ritual called ragging up, beaten down in their, we get personalities that are reduced to a nickname. They no longer call them original, you know, they're given a nickname. Like the Prime Minister was called backward.
Yeah, we see where people, you know, express that was his name there.
So the plantation doesn't, it breaks you down and reconstruct you in their own fashion.
Wow.
And you become a defender now of the status quo. You want a job in corporate Jamaica. You begin to speak funny talking. And you're no longer concerned about what we're talking. You join the out of many one concept. What's a lot of miseducation.
As you touch that, this out of many one concept, where it really started?
In America, you know, e pluribus unum. Just like how we are copies, we stop copying Britain and we begin to copy America. And that out of many one is the biggest deception in Jamaica, because it makes the black majority of the population become skewed to the minority. It protects the minority races, because they don't want to talk about race in Jamaica. You notice Jamaica don't want to talk about race. You know? They say race first, and them say no, we cannot tolerate that type of reason. So we have to reclaim our racial identity first. That is the beginning of our liberation, you know, reclaiming our racial identity without any fear or any doubt.
But we see this. Well, as you're talking about the reclaiming, and this is one of the words that I love to use, you know, reclamation. Or really reclaim, and the whole, and that's why you see, even reparation is not something I express, because every time you hear about reparation, and just it have an impact in my consciousness, because it is somebody who is going to repay, you know, especially you're going to repay me. And you are the same one who is going to, you know what I mean, tell me how much I'm worth. And like say, you are going to give me the opportunity to say, boy, you know, the atrocity that you have done, you know, is us, the victim, who is going to set what it is worth for us and how we must get paid. It's you, same one. The worst thing, still don't have no institutions. The banking institutions still owned by you. So if you even say, boy, you are repairing, because of your banking laws and all of these system, it is so much thing. When we hear people talk about reparation, I mean, I say, people just get up and talk about
echoing a word.
Yeah, what is this?
Word. Yeah.
So when you hear you talk about reclaiming, you know, we want to elaborate on that some more, that people can understand what it really means to reclaim your identity. Your identity. Because that's something that deep, you know. Maybe to take a whole program for really go deep into the reclamation of one's identity.
It's been subdued for the last 600 years.
A long
identity has been a long time since it happened. A lot of people can't remember who we are, you know.
Yes.
We can't remember who we are based upon the journey and the brutality that some of us don't even want to remember who we are. So reparations for me now, as a psychologist, begins in the mind. You have to repair the damage that was committed in our mind first. and repair our psychology. Repair our psychology of dependency.
I want you emphasize, that the responsibility of reparation is us repairing ourselves first. The psychology.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
You can't repair by begging people apology and beg them money. What is that?
That is what me I talk about.
Okay. Look here. Some of the highest learned people and the professors at the university, they're talking about money. We don't get an apology. What the heck is an apology?
I want to frighten for call them name people like Professor Vereen Shepherd and
I know them.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, brethren. It's all about begging. When I not a beggar.
Bring these people to the table. Professor Hilary Bettles and all of them, we need to bring them in front of the people and challenge them pertaining to this thing that they are talking about, Russian and bamboozling and
them set up.
Yeah.
But look here, them set up all kind of centers of reparation. It is money them collecting from the same owners.
And we need to call them.
So these, but you see, me and you can say about generally people afraid because they think that these people are so high in their intellect that they can't speak to them. Look here, man, the Jews never beg nothing from the Germans.
Never.
And they are, every year them collect their money. Millions upon millions of reparations. They have their ceremonies every year all around the world. We are begging, we're still beggars. You're begging a man who oppress you to give you something back. What kind of foolishness is that? It should be used to transform ourselves. And you walk up and down behind this man, I beg him to tell him I'm sorry. And then when I'm sorry, you can tell him, say, must give it back. What kind of, look here, man.
And recently,
our psychology.
Recently, we see somebody who even attained the level of a high court judge, right? And the former prime minister of Jamaica draft something. I need to go back and research and talking about the same reparation and how many billions and trillions. How then come up with that? How calculate that? Generation of
African people.
Yeah. Oh, you calculate, you put a monetary value to that as two black intellectuals. One who maybe not
intellectual.
Maybe not use the word intellectual, It's correct.
Academics.
They are academics. We need to
academics are not revolutionaries, Academics are conservative. Marcus Garvey was a revolutionary, he wasn't an academic. Fidel Castro was not an academic. They were intellectual and they were revolutionary. So we have a language thing to know, We're not the reverse with the man them language. We should spend time mastering their language that we can get out.
And that's why I like have a man like you for reason with, because that's how we have to start to define our own language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a whole leap of unlearning and relearning. We have to take it by the horns and recognize that those who are put in charge are just simply there to keep the place as it is.
Yes.
Yeah. They get a lot of grants from they have to publish. Anything they publish, if it's not sanctioned by white man, it will never be published. So it's just a different level of control over the same great majority of black people. These people to liberate them. It will never happen. We have to liberate ourselves at a psychological level first. We will no longer feel inferior when we see white people. We don't bow anymore to white people.
Yes.
We realize the image that they give us. It's dreadful, If a white girl come into the midst of a black man, everybody head turn,
True.
Yeah, simply because they're skin white. It's a deep, deep psychology wherein we have things that are white to be superior to ourselves. So all the angels are white.
That's it. That's it.
The supreme, is the image of whiteness that we must fight to get rid of out of ourselves, that we can embrace black. And it's not because black and white are opposites, because black is who we are.
The imagery of white, we must get out of our consciousness.
Yeah, we must get out of our being. Yes, man. We have to see that as alien. That is the enemy, you know. The enemy is in our heads now.
Yeah.
The enemy is not outside anymore. The enemy is now in our head.
We are going to explore that a little more. We are going to take a little break. We'll play a piece of music. And when we come forward, we are going to talk about that. Iman Black.
Yes, sir.
So just sip on something on it when we forward. Yes, this is the Community Buzz on Fit FM. 96.7 Your Life, Your Music. And Imara say, we talk to Iman Black. See? And we want the people to know that you can text in, 876-478-9144, 876-513-6668, right? You can text in, you can send a voice note, because it's a different kind of vibration. We are in a season where the people have been deceived, and we have to find a way to correct or to relearn and unlearn some of the things. And we have the perfect individual, right, to share that vibration with me. You know what I mean? So we'll take a short break and come back. So hear this.
Traveling down the road with a heavy load, still we never get weary yet. This is Juba White, and I am tuning into the Community Buzz with Imara, the musical revolutionary.
Fit FM 96.7, Trelawney's Radio. Your life, your music.
Yes. This is Imara, the musical revolutionary, and this is the Community Buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. We do this every Monday, and while we are doing this, as we say, from the home to the community to the wider world, let us be the change that we want to see, and that's what we are doing right here. We are being the change that we. Primal. So yes, we are being the change that we want to see, and Iman Black is a part of Primal, so we are also small casting and Primal for www.primal4k.com. Iman Black, you ready forward?
Yes, there says speed.
Eliminate white image out of our consciousness. No, sometimes happen, right? One of the biggest promoter of bleaching and the destroyer of the black minds in Jamaica, we say, according to them, got liberated or free from behind the bars the 31st of July, just before emancipation. And we see some aspect of, the articles in the colonial masters control those medias. We see some things in those medium, expressing the liberation of the world boss who, as you talk about the plantation, even when there, to lecture,
Serious.
and be a standard bearer. You know?
Yes.
So
yes.
When you talk about the elimination of white image out of our consciousness, and when we look within the cultural space right now, which we call the music, we see is dominated right now, because I don't know if the eye observe it. It is dominated by people when you like them complexion. Most of the dancehall artists that we see right now are bleach. And most of the people when we see hold a certain position in the media are bleach. And if them not bleach, the ear with them off on the head and not fit them.
Yes.
So the imagery of whiteness are wanting to be something other than themselves. Where were they black? Where were the I man black in Jamaica in this time?
You see the bleaching phenomenon. We must realize that almost a great portion of West Africa deep in the bleaching.
Yeah.
The ideology of white dominance. I don't talk about white supremacy, because white is never supreme in man consciousness. There's no supremacy about being white, but they are dominant. And in that domination, they have the black people in a state of flux, because the economic system begins to make space for those who are not black, which gives you the impression that in order to, quote unquote, make it economically, you have to look lighter. Remember in Jamaica, the mothers used to tell the daughters, say them don't want to bring a black skin man in the house, because them don't want to fit the black. So it's a long time we have been trying to escape our blackness.
Wow.
Now we have the technology to do it even quicker. So it is so profound, the idea of being non-black. It has become almost like a curse in the economic society if your skin is dark. It means opportunities may be less. There was a time in our banking system where you couldn't go in there and see anybody of dark skin. There's a time at even the high school I used to work at teach in the 60s, all the teachers were white.
Wow.
So it's like that we have inherited, but we're not making much effort to change it. So the artists now in the world, who are the publishers who are in the United States and in Europe, etc., etc., the whiter you come to them, is the more they seem to be receptive to you. So how do you come to them? It means the black man then with the money and the talent must realize what's going on and begin to encourage the fullness of our black consciousness, that our skin is not just an outer covering, it is our soul. S-O-U-L. Is that the Bible talk about they blew breath into the man and man became a living soul? That is poetry. The African soul is the skin, which is our biggest organ. It holds the greatest amount of memory in our body. And yet we are told you destroy your memory.
Wow.
So it's a lack of knowledge of the power of our skin. The black skin is what the European grudge us for, because we are children of the sun. They have to hide from the sun. They are trying to get a skin, we call it tan. They have $1 billion tanning industry to come close to how we look.
Yeah.
And we have $1 billion bleaching industry to look like how they look.
What a contrast.
What a confusion, Bridget.
Real confusion. And that's why. And
biology.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, anatomy and physiology are sciences that we must reclaim.
Yeah.
Only we know how the pigment should function in our skin. The pigment is not just, it is everything. The plants, When we look at the plant kingdom, the most powerful plants are the green plants. The green plants give us food, it gives us oxygen. Without the green plants and plant pigmentation, there will be no life on the planet Earth. Because the green plants give us oxygen,
Yes.
food, and medicine.
Yes.
So pigmentation of the plants is no different from the pigmentation of our black skin. We have to see the power of pigmentation. It is within us. So unless you know that, you will never reclaim it. We and the plants are closer related than we and the animals, black people. It's a European who's connected to the animal kingdom. That's why I'm calling himself an ape man. We have no ape history. We don't have any RH factor blood in our system. We are a divine race of people. But the power rests in our melanin consciousness. And it is in our skin and in our brain. We have 12 centers of melanin in our brain, brethren. That makes, why I think in sports, we are supreme in everything we do. It's the power of melanin.
And right now, right now, you see them are trying to do all sort of thing pertaining to gender and race. As watching,
all right,
to discredit that or to put it down, you know. So we have to observe what's going on right now. Right now.
Oh yes. Because you see, a lot of ones that I and I, because we don't really have an anatomy and physiology, we don't know ourselves. Unless you know your body, you don't know yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
How your body function. We have creativity flows from like 2 o'clock in the morning down to about 5 o'clock. Because the brain is now being bathed with melanin. The melanin releases the hormones, melats the brain and gives us that higher that spirituality and creativity. We have to know the physiology. We have to know our own biology. The guy will never tell us how we really function. So the reclamation also comes in reclaiming our scientific knowledge of our own makeup. The hair that we have is not just hair. There are areas that connect us to the external environment through vibrations.
So people spend so many time, right? Especially within the religious world, talking about spirit and want to separate spirit from the physical part of us, our biological system. I know that me hear I talk about this more than one time. See the importance of the biological system to understand or have a clearer understanding of who you are biologically. Because if you don't know yourself biologically, you can't know yourself spiritually.
Nor like, look here, it's egg and sperm, you know. Egg and sperm is our genesis. The egg has memory. The egg is carrying the genetic memory of the mother. The sperm has memory. It's carrying the genetic memory of the father.
Yeah.
Then it has a memory of both parents and the generations that came before. So we have to awaken those memories in our own skin. It's a serious thing, you know, because we have been disconnected to the point where we bleach our skin because we hate it. So the enemy don't have to come amongst us anymore. The enemy is already planted in our brain. So we have to reject some of those. Yeah, we have to reject some of those things and turn to biology. We can't be wrong. It's not a feelings about biology, you know, it's a scientific.
Perfect. Perfect. The exploration of oneself. You know, So if you don't set out to really explore your own biological system, you know, because all of you need to, this is it. And this is, even yesterday I was talking to somebody pertaining to, you know, you go to the doctor and the doctor diagnose that you have some kind of illness, but the same tablet that he give everybody else, everybody take the same thing, while your biological makeup maybe slightly different from mine.
Of course.
So it can't have the same impact.
You see, Amaro,
yeah.
You see, when the black man gets ill, the European don't think that we have any psychological problems, you know, because he says that we have no psyche.
Oh.
He came to rescue us out of our jungle and he's going to put into us a soul. That was his teaching. So whenever we get ill, his first recourse is medicine, is drugs. And when his people get ill, they go into psychological treatment. They go into reasoning to resolve their problem. They don't think that we have the capacity to reason. So you just joke with something. The Europeans don't think that we have a psyche. We have no intellect. So it's always disturbing to him when a black man rise up, like the philosophers that were always around and begin to talk about things that are not grounded on the ground, and how did we come to that? We created calendars, we brought medicine into the world, everything that is functional in the world, it is the African world brought it into the world. And all of us are carrying the genetic memory of. So it's fear and doubt. We don't trust ourselves. Look here, Imara, hear this.
Yeah.
I did a PhD at UWI, you see?
Right.
You see, when you're doing your oral defense, you have to defend it verbally, you know. You can't just give them a writing and give it to them. You have to defend it orally.
Right.
You have three examiners. You have three examiners who are going to find whether they pass or not. 12 of them come from Jamaica. You know the third one come from? Australia.
What?
And if that man don't give you the go-ahead, you can't pass.
Even if the two Jamaican give the go-ahead?
Let me tell you, man. And they will not go against him. Okay, Bridget. And you see, it's an experience to really try through the walls and see what is it they put you through to give you their certification. It is the Australian who say, yes, I'm on. This is creditable work. And on that basis, you can have your doctorate.
Wow.
So it is them all the while defining who we are in terms of, you know, qualifications and etc. etc. And we have to realize that we can't be depending on those people to tell us who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, rough, my brother.
I need for it just sad that when you go up on the internet for find him works and for dig deep into him works, them you can't find them and have access to them as you can have access to other information. Dr. Fred Icklin was always saying over 75% of Jamaica are suffering from mental illness. Long time, he must say.
More now.
And you realize it gone more now. Why?
Yes.
You must meet Dr. Fred. Yeah, you must, you know.
Yes, man.
And I don't believe in then give him the kind of credit, because he's a man who me see like in the wilderness long time. I try to point out something.
It's a lonely journey. It's a lonely journey. It's the people in England begin to respect his work here and use his methodologies in England. Freddie Icklin went to Bellevue and stopped the shock. There was a shock our leaders, you know. Electric shock to the head, you know. Bedwell and all of these men were.
Whoa.
And they call it treatment for mental illness because the man I'm talking about black people's business. Culture is a solution. Cultural intervention. Introduce art introduce plays, drama, for the people them to let out the trauma and to recover themselves. Yet, as I said, he's not recognized in Jamaica. Garvey was recognized here. Once you show any sign of defending black people, they ask you to leave the country in a diplomatic route. Walter Rodney couldn't study knowledge. Nation tight, you know. And if you notice, I just heard 2 days ago, you have more Jamaicans living off the island than living on the island.
Oh.
Those who are seeking progress have to leave. And all you must do when you leave is send the remittance money back to the country. So we have to realize that the structure here encourage what me and you talking about. You might get a plane ticket tomorrow until they say you can go on a Ghana if you want.
True. Yeah. It's right there. It's recently I was talking to somebody about Marcus Garvey, and I was saying what they did to Marcus Garvey, you know, the colonial system. Them like to have you closer to them that they can close mark you, you know, and monitor you. If you say, all right, see now, so we enough for the monks and people. So after the deportation of Marcus Garvey, and when they reach Jamaica, it was under more pressure than even when they in America. You know?
Of course. And because America already, America have a deep black population, you know, who have struggled for them racial identity in the midst of white people.
Yes. And Marcus Garvey literally went here and resurrect that group of people, black people. Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
And there's something else now, you know. It's a Garvey. We must not forget that Garvey is a teacher, you know. We tend to want to overlook that. We feel that Garvey was born 1887 and start talk things. Edward Blyden. We must read the works of Edward Blyden. He's the father of Pan African. Edward Blyden. These men are our knowledge base. So the argument for redemption in Africa started in America long before it come to Jamaica. Back to Africa movement was in the United States long before the idea come to Jamaica.
That's it. You know,
so we have something.
Yeah, you know, so after the time I move fast, we there, and we talk about emancipation. We reach, so tomorrow, you know, them are gonna have big
another scam.
Them are gonna have big gala, and them are gonna roll out $2 million cake. Seeing, and the people are go out to dance and a jolly.
Yes,
you know. No, they must say 62. Or we talk about this thing because we're still in a economic slavery as we speak right now, and even more than that, because psychologically we are not liberated. We still not find ourselves, and that's why the leaders continue, or the so-called leaders continue to parade around and I tell we that we are seeing progress. They might tell you where we are get, even when the people now feel it. They are inculcating, they are coercing the people to believe it. What they are not feeling.
Road, light and water, right? Road, light and water.
Road, light and water. This is the trick with them have on the people. And the road, light and water, they are making it look like after them money, it come out of them pocket. And this we are provide you with. Where we are?
I man was a youth when the flag go down, you know. The Union Jack.
Yes.
And I man see when they raise the Jamaican flag. And felt the feeling that we're free. I think the misinformation at the point in time was that Jamaica free from Britain. But we were told that we're now responsible for ourselves, you know. That was part of the message was missing.
Mm-hmm.
We just say so we're free. And in that concept of free, we still never own anything. The idea of the British of exhausting the resources here encourage them to leave. It is Britain who got their independence from us, you know. They no longer have to pay our bills. They no longer have to deal with issues in Jamaica. They were the ones who got free.
Oh.
And the responsibility for ourselves, the people, I didn't know that I was responsible for myself as a youth, and the country was responsible for itself. Because here, so we're free. But the information.
But even to allow us to take full responsibility for ourselves is still a struggle. Because every time we try to do that, them find a way. One of the first set of people, me go from 1930, who decides that we are going to take full responsibility for ourselves, is the Rasta man. We don't have nothing to do with the system. Law we make we define who we are.
And what a brutality in response.
You see what I say? So,
yes.
To take responsibility for yourself is another struggle.
You know, brother, this thing is so long and winding.
Not true.
Look at Garvey Institute, the political party for black people to organize themselves for their own liberation. The PPP for continuous. Because the other two groups simply pirate the idea and claim that they are now representatives, which is really the families the wealthy forming these two unions called JLP and PNP to manipulate what God was trying to do for the many. And so from that time up to this political tribalism that people in Jamaica don't want to call themselves in politics anymore, because it's really tribalism.
Because you see when I think I'm on black, you touch something right there, so you know, in these two political parties, you know. And the people in Jamaica. I drive with somebody this morning and I said, one of the worst thing, you know, that them ever happened to the people is that the people go out and vote to their own demise, not knowing what is happening. And that is very sad. Every 5 years, you vote to your own demise. Because you put some people in power and give them authority to create law, to oppress you. To put policies in place that is going to hurt you. That is another psychological problem we have to look upon deep into. And for you said this. Enough people don't even understand this organization in Jamaica, what we call the PSOJ, what it represents.
The oligarchs. We have the word now. We have the word now from the pandemic. They are the oligarchs of Jamaica. You see, that word never surfaced until the pandemic, you know. That there are a group of people in every country, America, Russia, China, Jamaica, that really control the wealth of the country.
Yeah.
And determine which party goes into power by who they finance more. So voting, the whole democracy is another illusion, you know.
Of course. Of course.
Because even in America, it's not the voting people define the president. It's something called the Electoral College.
Exactly.
In a place like Jamaica, no matter who we vote for, there's a government run by the Governor General and it's cost us. So in Jamaica, we have two governments in Jamaica, you know. I want the people know that. We have the government that the people vote for. We have a government that has been instituted by the Crown. We don't vote for the Governor General, but he has more power than the Prime Minister. we finance the Governor General's residence and all of his friends
Tax
with our money.
and tax free. Him is the only man in Jamaica
Yeah.
wanna pay tax, and you can't question. You can't
Look here,
question.
man. We're supposed to go to King's House and chant him out, you know. That man's supposed to go on a plane and leave the country in exile. He must go back where he come from. What you say, the militancy in Jamaica, militancy don't exist here because Christianity keeps you calm.
Docile.
And when the politician realize that the people getting upset, they must call a prayer breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the two ministers sit down together, religion and government. They eat and drink and not glasses together, and break up after that. And the people are left in a daze, waiting and know what they call the new term is divine intervention. Because
Yeah.
remember, the national anthem tells us, eternal Father, send us wisdom from above, not from our intelligence.
And you still a look above.
From the days of the slave trade, where the power lies not under the ground. Because look at you now, under the ground is supposed to be hell, right? But under the ground where all the minerals and the resources are.
Exactly.
So let us claim hell then.
Yeah.
Let us claim hell. And leave heaven alone.
Yeah.
I've been given a backwards education. I always have a problem with the concept of food, clothes, and shelter as a priority, Because to I man, it can't be in that order. Food cannot be the priority. Shelter is the first need. But they have us thinking about food first, so we always have hunger in our belly. And the first priority of any being is shelter, brethren. Shelter. And yet Jamaica, we have so many what we call squatter communities. We have reversed the curse. We cannot fight crime and violence, but we fight violence first to solve the crime.
Because, and you see that term that we use, violence, because somebody violates you, and that is what leads to the crime.
Exactly.
So
why don't we search for the root of violence then?
Yeah. Who is the violator?
So our island thing is backwards, brethren. Most things are all backwards, so we never achieve any progress.
I'm on black.
We have to see the thing. Yes,
more and more, I listen to the eye and we reason, seeing. And what about a year or two ago, me and my sister Cherry Natural, we have a deep when time we reason for a while, seeing. And she said to me, "Hey Mara, say the culture of reasoning I take time dead out." And I said, "Flow, oh, you come up with that?" And she said, "We just look because I just few people like me and I can't really sit down and look deep into things and just reason. And
without quarreling.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yes. And without even try to prove who right from who wrong.
Yes,
but have a deep intellectual discourse and to dissect things and to come to clarity and things. And we are saying we need forward that circle. We need that kind of circle where we can, because that was what shaped I and I as a youth to come when we used to have that
reasoning.
Reasoning and questioning of things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and disagree. I agree and disagree and I agree.
Yeah, to stimulate one intellect that you really use it up and start to think and analyze and critically look into yourself and take on your own self too. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And are not satisfied, but wanting to move beyond that at all times.
Yes. Yes.
We realize, as you say, the academic class, saying they are not revolutionaries. You know what I mean? They are
conservatives.
Conservatives.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Just hold the things as they are. Yeah.
They
rock the boat.
Yeah.
They rock the boat. And if you hear any of them rocking the boat, it's not enough for the boat to overthrow. It's just to make themselves visible. But they're not rocking the boat to change it over because they're going to lose them status.
Yeah.
And an economic position.
Yeah. And enough people don't even understand. Enough people don't even listen. See? I remember, I believe it was when Bruce stepped aside and this present Prime Minister got the torch to move ahead. See? This same word conservative, he said, I am the ultimate conservative.
Yeah.
And he said, he stated that his three mentors that he looked to in politics is Ronald Reagan, Margaret Thatcher, and Edward Seaga. And the people.
That is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people never. The people. I don't believe the people
can't digest that. The people wouldn't digest that.
No.
Just by themselves, you know.
No.
Because you have to know you have to know really who these men were, what they represented, you know, even in that space.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's a capture. It's a capture. When people are captured, you know, and you capture their imagination first.
Aye.
Because if you capture the people's imagination, you know, you have them, you know. And there's one book that they give to us, and we have been living out of the book that is called the Words of God. No one never knows the God of words, you know. Later on, I hear the God of word. Okay? But the significant lines that capture our imagination is in the beginning. Those three words capture the imagination. Because you have to think about before the beginning. So you start everything by saying in the beginning, but certain things have no beginning, like time. Time has no beginning.
No.
Time has no end. Energy has no beginning. Energy has. But you capture the imagination with the storyline in the beginning. And we can't get around that. As a people, we're still holding on to that. God created heaven and hell. When the books are heaven and earth, it's heaven and hell. Because literally, who created hell if it's not the same God that created heaven?
They know that. These are the thing. So, if there's an Almighty and you created all things, good and evil come out of this creation or this creator, then where is it we are going to find the separation? Where is the right? Where is the wrong? If you created.
Who or what created the creator? That is my question for 35 years.
Well, not even the creator.
What created the creator?
Well, maybe not even the creator.
Something created the creator.
Maybe not even the creator.
Huh?
Answer who created the creator.
Yeah, in other words, it's a redundant question because there is no creator. Everything has always been here. Everything has always been here in a brethren. This can't come from nowhere. The cosmos can't come from nowhere. The cosmos has always existed.
Always. And that is
yes, there is no creator.
And that is why when I say long time, that I is for Ivan, then still can't.
No beginning, no beginning and no end.
They can't fathom that. You know what I mean? And that's why so many people live a torturous life, trying to hold on to what them see right here, so. You know? And I say, why? I hate this, you know. But then I realize the amount of time
Infinity is a language.
Infinity, man.
Time is infinite, yes.
The infinite beauty of life.
They have the lack of simple concept of a beginning, and then the same book tell you about an end.
Yeah.
So a lot of people living their lives in those pages.
Exactly.
Millions of people, you know.
What dear man? You ever hear people every day talk about this is the end time. Time is winding down. And the pastor preaches every day in a church and prepare for your judgment day because the time is coming. And
yeah. And I live in that type of, I don't know that type of fear of no end of time. Governments end and people's lives go through the cycle of birth and death. But life continues. There's no afterlife for me, you know. Life is always, there's no afterlife.
Yeah, life, this is it. This is it, what we always have said. Then, we're going to talk about afterlife. Even when I know they are saying life continues.
Continues.
Yeah.
I was here before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, another binary, you know. Some people feel that life and death are opposites.
Yeah.
But that cannot be true.
Yes, so
that cannot be true. Yeah, life is infinite. Birth and death is a cycle.
But even
you experience birth and you experience death.
But even people who are, to get it even clearer, once you become a father or a mother, you should have start to sit in yourself and just do just even 5 minutes of reflection, man. And you see how far back. You know, about 2 days ago, me and my son attack, you know, and I said to him, say, watch out. The journey for you to be here is a long one, son. See? Because he's so concerned about him little daughter, him first daughter. Very soon, you know, she will be hurrying up to leave or to liberate herself from under your care. So just learn that in your head. You know, she can't wait to say, me need to have my own freedom. I don't need you to tell me what to do anymore. You know what I mean?
So guess what's happening now? Yeah. You see, if your son emancipate her, guess what will happen? She will go to our own resources, drop pocket and come back.
See that? See that?
Which is really what happened to the black population in emancipation.
You know?
If that child is to be liberated, she has to have resources. That when she step out of the father's house, she can finance herself. That will be a liberated child.
And these are some of the things. And you see, you touch another topic where we have to come forward and talk about that one next time, you know. The whole structure of what we call the family, you know, we start to tell the people, so once you reach 18, you need to go about your business and them thing there.
Oh my goodness. What that mean? Mother have and father have blessing the child.
Blessing the child.
They are the only people who practice that.
Foolishness, you know. You know, it's one of the biggest foolishness.
Look here, it's the biggest deterrent to generational wealth.
Do you know that, man?
We will never have generational wealth if you push on the child at 18 and tell them so they must go have their own. You must have to encourage the child to develop and say that they can build upon what you have set already. That's what the Chinese do. What the Indians do, that's what most other races do.
But it's the recurring wealth, you know, because you did make too much in amount of sacrifice to put certain things in him, and then just get up and then gone. Him not even just gone so. And a man will tell us say you don't need to look on that and way. But that is a life investment, whether you want to see it, so yes or no, but that is the reality. Yeah. It must. That's why we love the system of Cuba in a way. We need to go into them thing there. Rasa Man Black.
Yes, brother.
We maybe need a full 2 hours for a reason, and even that not even go touch the things that we need to touch, because watch the time just blow past. So I mean. We always give thanks, King, you know, for the intellectual sharpness of the eye, you know what I mean? I mean, we cut a whole heap of people because, you know, them don't have the skin for it. Stand this kind of energy, you know?
Brethren, don't forget cut when you cut, because we suffer enough cut up already from 1800 and 1700.
Yeah.
And we bleed enough from 1500 straight up.
Yeah, you know, and it's time for I and I. So, for return that. Love and light, my brethren. Stay strong and do what they have to do. Yeah, all right. Best.
Ben Naya. More power to Ben Naya.
I see. Love and light. All right. Yes, this is the community buzz. Where I say is, you know, and I'm already musical revolutionary. What a vibration. We just have a deep, discussion with the consciousness of I people. And the people must not be afraid, because a lot of people fearful when certain sounds start to utter, because these sounds, it touch the core. It really touch the core, because there's a lot of things. There are a lot of things that are happening around us. And we must pay close attention to these things, And me start to see it more and more. One of the hardest things to be is to be your authentic self. Because enough time you have to try to shield yourself, not to get other people upset. But life no stay so. If you get upset, I go get upset. Because the truth must be told, and it must not be clothed. You must speak it naked. You must strip it down to the core. You understand? That you can fully have an understanding of what it is that you want to explore. You know what I mean? If you really want to understand your woman, you have to explore her fully. Same thing with the man. Woman, if you want to understand your man, you have to explore fully. And if him are afraid of stripping off himself, then you need to step aside. Because it is as deep as that. There's something hiding there.
Yes.
When we touch certain topic intellectually, some people can't manage it, because we don't like surface. We are deep divers, right? See, so, surface make you know nothing. Yeah, we go to the deep. Yeah, we like to go deep. Yes, this is Aymara. Bless up the people at my primal, and watch your people. When they take time on the road, my God, man, 4 people in a one accident, one lick. And every day you drive, you see more madness. The people might drive some vehicle where they can't control the vehicle them fast, and then they make good. Every little pebble lick on them, then sink up. Some don't know why when I drive them thing I was so light. I was another topic, and another day. We're going to that. But people, want to take time. Don't drink and drive. Be conscious, be sober when you're on the road. And slow down, no? Why, yes, what all this is? Wanna run, go. All right. Love and light. Lady D coming up next. I will say, when you get yourself out of the pen and free up.
Fit FM 96.7 Trelawney's Radio. Your life, your music.
Blessings and light. This is Aymara, the music functionary. You're in host and the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7.